Pennsylvania sheriff who likes memes. So much so that he posted a meme about running over protesters with a truck. What kind of sheriff is this? Well, we'll tell you. Adams County, Pennsylvania. He's a local sheriff named James Mueller. Facing backlash now after appearing to post a photo to social media showing a blood-splattered truck and a caption, protester edition. Doesn't anyone run things by other people? I'm wondering, does he have a partner, anyone who would say, well, Mueller, don't do that. Let's just keep that in-house. According to ABC 27 WHTM News, the photo posted on Mueller's Facebook page showed a pickup truck with red paint splattered on the hood, because this is apparently good for social media. The tires purported to be blood there too. Photo was captioned, the all-new Dodge Ram Protester Edition. I bet you he's the kind that laughs at his own jokes too. You know, he was cracking up as he posted this too. Don't you know people like that? Where to the point where if he has a missus or a mister, they run in from the kitchen saying, now what are you laughing at, Mueller? Oh, just look what I did. He's just very proud of himself. I know the type, okay? Photo, which has since been deleted, was shared amid nationwide No Kings protest against the Trump administration. ABC 27 has reached out to the sheriff's office for comment, but has not heard back at this time. He wants it to go away. Adams County Commissioner Marty Qualley reacted to the post in a statement to ABC 27, calling the post, quote, appalling, and saying Mueller puts citizens at risk. Qualley wrote this: the majority of the Board of Commissioners are drafting a statement to condemn Sheriff Mueller's actions. While I support the words in the statement, I will not be supporting the statement itself, as it has no repercussions. Statements of horror and disgust at this action are as useless as thoughts and prayers after a mass shooting. They do nothing to change the future. In fact, this case, his statement is worse than doing nothing. His statements imply that violence is an acceptable response to lawful, peaceful assembly. Statement concludes with this: Sheriff has placed law-abiding citizens and law enforcement at risk through his comments. While I respect our deputies, our security team, and local law enforcement, I have serious concerns when a law enforcement leader condones violence against innocent residents. It is unacceptable. It has no place in Adams County. Mueller has served in law enforcement for more than 26 years, primarily with the sheriff's office. He served as sheriff for more than 16. According to his office biography, Mueller did not run for re-election in May primary, has run unopposed in his most recent elections, which is part of the problem here. Now, the incident follows controversial comments made by this Florida sheriff. We want you to see this.
If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired, because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play.
Tough guy there. I can tell you about how that transpired too. No, I wasn't anywhere there, but it's just the way my mind works as a journalist. He had people gathered around him, probably the same ones who were around that little podium there, that sheriff. And they say, what about this one? Then I'm gonna say, well, no, we'll find you in the morgue. We'll notify your family. Then they cackled together and they walked out and said, let me tell you something, partner. That's how they will operate. This is all for show, folks, until somebody gets killed. Okay? So it didn't happen in a vacuum. Oh, and don't forget the governor of Florida, the one who eats pudding with his fingers, Ron DeSantis. He had this to say.
And we also have a policy that if you're driving on one of those streets and a mob comes and surrounds your vehicle and threatens you, you have a right to flee for your safety. And so if you drive off and you hit one of these people, that's their fault for impinging on you. You don't have to sit there and just be a sitting duck and let the mob grab you out of your car and drag you through the streets. You have a right to defend yourself in Florida.
Trayvon Martin didn't have a right to defend himself, did he? I'm trying to remember. He had the Skittles and the Snapple. I don't think Trayvon Martin had a right to defend himself. He was on foot when he was stalked. Okay. It's only for certain people. I wouldn't try this if you're of a certain hue. Hey, Ron, what are we supposed to do with these people? On the one hand, I like my sheriffs independent like and just following the law. I don't need them making big statements. I don't need them being coerced into other things like perhaps this other sheriff who posted the bloody truck edition, hit a protester edition. I don't know what to do with these tough talkers, especially when they're backed by the pudding guy who leads Florida.
Well, it seems like they've been watching a lot of episodes of Deadwood or Yosemite or whatever other cowboy type show that makes them feel that that cowboy rule of law is what should prevail in the land of today, and it should not. My question is, what kind of protesters are you referring to? Are you referring to the anti-immigration protesters? Are you referring to the January 6th protesters? Are you referring to the MAGA protesters? Would you have done this at the Capitol on January 6th? Is that the conversation happening? Or are you referring to the anti-ICE protesters or the BLM protesters or the people that you simply do not agree with because of your ethnicity and your cultural fake identity that you succumb to? That is my problem. You have a person in power stating that if you do this, you will end up in the hospital and or in the morgue who can actually make it happen. It's not like when a 7-year-old says, I'll nuke you. It's different when Kim Jong-un says, I'll nuke you. That's the difference. This person has the means and the power and the authority to make these kind of things happen and make them go away. That is extremely, extremely dangerous conversation for a person in that position to have. And I hope that all the people that were at that podium are aptly removed.
Yeah. And when you have a governor it sounded like he was encouraging it. In case you didn't know, and you weren't thinking about running down innocent people who were out exercising their right to free speech, you should think about doing this, is what it sounded like. And that's why the council member in the other incident said just what he said. You're putting citizens at risk. You're also putting law enforcement at risk. I mean, we already know people do this. Remember good people on both sides in Charlottesville? Good people on both sides. I mean, you're asking which people they're talking about. And I think it's a good question, Tehran. We know all about what this means.